I'm here with Bobby, one of the developers from Titanic VR. Actually, are you the sole developer or one of the developers?
One of the developers.
Okay.
I was lead dev on this. So
Lead dev, fantastic. Do you get much actual coding done, or are you sort of managing the team?
Luckily, our team is still small enough where kind of lead dev is more of a
hands-on.
You work on this part. You work on this part. I'll work on this part.
You're in charge of code review, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. So yeah, this is Bobby working on Titanic VR. I sat down and played on it briefly earlier on today. There are actually two different ways you can play the game. We've got the interactive version as well, which you might be able to see a gentleman here playing on the screen. And then there's the sort of more passive version here, which is sort of almost a 3D virtual reality documentary, which you can also play. So Bobby, I was curious about a few things. I'm a dev myself, but not on this level. I'm just sort of a web dev, back-end dev kind of thing. So I'll ask you a few questions about that, if that's okay as well. But just before that, one of the other things I was curious about, clearly this is sort of, it's straddling a very interesting middle ground between documentary and entertainment interaction. And I'm very interested in how this kind of project comes to fruition and how it gets started, whether it's someone at the BBC that says, oh, I've heard of VR and maybe we can do this history thing, or whether it's someone in VR who says, I'd really like to do a documentary, what is there?
It's kind of a blend of both. So our company does a lot of educational products. We have kind of two main branches. One is more focused on sort of support and kind of classroom infrastructure for VR, and then the other part is sort of edutainment focused stuff. So our previous title of Apollo and VR was kind of the same, where it was like sort of a documentary, it wasn't too interactable, but it was, you're sort of learning through the experience of being there.
Absolutely, I played that, I thought it was superb. Yeah, cheers.
But that was kind of the same mentality behind this, was we want something that's entertaining, but mainly that it'll sort of teach the players as they're going. So at the moment we're just demoing a sandbox version, but there is a full narrative version where you recover artifacts, learn how to restore them, as well as a tour mode of the wreck, which sort of takes you through all the different sections, and you get sort of a voiceover telling you about the history and the science behind it.
Wow, that sounds amazing. And so the company has been started for the purpose of making these kind of experiences. Would that be correct?
Yeah.
That's your niche, which you guys are really trying to exploit.
So we've got our own IP in Apollo Titanic, and then we've just released a collaboration with the BBC, which was 1943 Berlin Blitz.
Fantastic.
Which was essentially putting you in the seat of a radio reporter from the 1940s, doing a bombing run on Berlin. So yeah, again, very heavy focus on like experiential content and sort of again just learning through being there, physically feeling it.
Absolutely. Haptic feedback and everything like that. Yeah. And so I'm sort of fairly aware from having experienced it myself in my home about your Apollo experience and how well that works. But from my experience, I'm a gamer, I'm not in the classroom. How well has it been received in the classroom, all of these projects? They're doing.
So in terms of classroom, we do have a lot of interest from both educators and then also on the museum side for installations. And then from the gaming side, we've had positive results. So I don't want to misquote myself, but we were sitting at roughly 86-87% on Steam at the moment, as far as I know.
I'm not surprised,
But so the reception has been good. There's a big Venn diagram of different audiences that we're trying to attract. So Titanic fans for this one are obviously very much up there, and then there's also just the kind of the more casual VR users, and then also the kind of more hardcore gamers. This would, I would say, be like much less of a hardcore game and more of a almost like a point-and-click adventure game, but in VR. Sort of, it's sort of simple task-based, but locked together with an overall narrative.
I think I heard you mention that there were trophies in the interactive version as well, or something like that. Would you collect collectibles? Is that right? Did you say that?
Not so much. No, it's collectible artifacts.
Exactly.
So that's part of the kind of core mechanics. Is essentially you're trying to. The story is that you're being funded to essentially solve a mystery from 100 years ago. So you're going down, finding artifacts, sort of figuring out what they mean and putting all the pieces of the puzzle together.
And will there be Steam achievements?
There aren't at the moment. I don't want to promise anything.
Fair enough. And from a dev point of view, how do you find developing in VR? Do you work in Unity, or do you have some other?
Yeah, so we work in Unity, and just on the dev side, it tends to be a lot more challenging because everything has to be done sort of 3 times as efficiently. like obviously we're running on nice hardware here today, but we need to be able to run sort of minimum spec for Oculus and minimum spec for VR for Steam. So we need to render sort of 3 times as fast, and we need to do that for both perspectives for each eye. So it tends to be a lot heavier on optimization than it would be for other games. And then there's also all the peripheries that you have to do. So this supports gamepad, mouse, and keyboard, as well as motion control. So we have to sort of make sure our input works across all those devices, and sort of make sure we have enough like a UX UI approach that like everything still feels good no matter what device you're using or combination of devices. So.
Yeah, it must be such a challenge because it's bad enough when you've just got PCs with all the components. When you've got PCs, PSVR or whatever else, all the different controllers, it must be incredible. Yeah,
it's challenging.
And I'm also interested, as a developing for VR for Vive and Oculus, etc. What kind of contact or interaction do you have with, for example, maybe Valve for the Vive side or Steam, and maybe Facebook with the Oculus side?
So we generally have contacts with both sort of Steam and Oculus. For Oculus, they're a lot more stringent on the QA side of things, so to get something approved to the store, you need to kind of have a good bit of back and forth. But we have a nice rapport with them, and have sort of direct contacts.
That's brilliant.
Been invited to a few of their conferences and stuff. And then sort of staying on Steam side, we have we have a store contact person, we have a app contact person.
Fantastic. Another thing I was going to ask you is about where you see the future of VR and where you see it going from here. Because obviously at the moment it's still very much a niche market, although in my opinion it's sort of growing a little bit and becoming a little bit more mainstream.
Yeah.
But then also in my opinion, you may agree, we're sort of in Gen 1 now, the early adopters, and hopefully with the later generations we might see more adoption. We'll get more high-end and also more low-end, cheaper items.
I think it's going to take a sort of permanent stake in the games market. Like when Oculus and stuff first came out, there was all this like very sensationalist headlines going, it's the future of gaming, all gaming will do. I don't think it's ever going to replace traditional gaming. Just the same way the consoles didn't replace PC gaming and the handheld didn't replace consoles. It'll be another sort of piece of the pie chart of the gaming market. Where we're more focused on is more in the academic side of stuff, so industrial training, medical training, as well as distance learning programs. That's where we see it kind of being very much a cornerstone of an industry. And then gaming is obviously a big part of that. It's we develop using game engines, we use game controllers to play. So the two are very much interlinked, but that's kind of where we see it having a much more sort of dominance on the market.
And what about AR? Have you had any thoughts about that? Because you're talking about surgery or medicine, I would imagine that would be immensely helpful.
AR is at the moment sort of still kind of very much in the sort of prenatal stage of it's still a bit too expensive to be kind of consumer ready. I don't want to name price tags because I'm probably wrong, but it's in and around a couple of grand for a headset. It's just not affordable yet for the average user. Whereas the headsets now for VR have come down to a couple $100, so they're affordable for your average middle class gamer.
Yeah, that's right.
With AR, I'm really excited about technology, but we don't work in it too much yet because there isn't enough of a market there for it yet.
But I suppose a lot of the lessons learned from VR will apply in AR as well.
They'll translate straight up. How do you make stuff as optimized as possible? How do you make it roll as quick as possible? And then focus on like user interaction. How do you figure that out for people who have different shapes, arms, hands?
And have you seen the Leap Motion hand tracker as well, where you can actually...
We did an internal tech demo where we duct taped one to the bottom of Vive and got it working pretty well. But again, it's one of those, it's another sort of device to support, so you have to sort of, spread yourself where you can appropriately.
Yeah, and it's very, very, very niche at the moment, absolutely, Okay, well, is there anything else that you'd like to let our viewers know about the game?
So Titanic, we had our sort of big launch on PC about a month ago, and then we're coming out on Xbox and PS4 in the next couple of months. So stay tuned for our sort of final release date. It should be coming very soon.